Hello there everyone and welcome back. There's a lot of changes going on in the background there I got myself a brand new PC and I'm hoping to start experimenting with 60 frame recording there. Although for whatever reason, despite my best attempts, this preview fleet management page is still hovering around 25 frames even though my improved video card, improved processor should be able to manage this. It's really weird, but I guess that's optimization of the game itself for you. But nonetheless, I'm going to try and experiment more with the 60 frames, especially with Armada 2 when it comes out. Here's hoping it should be a little more optimal or optimized than what Armada 1 currently is, if what I just said is any indication. But nonetheless, my Warsphere is about one battle away from level 6, and I think I'm going to commit to maybe 2 more episodes with Tau before I move on to something else. So the dream is to get one more successful battle in for the crew Warsphere, and that will round up my fleet nicely. But sadly I'm nowhere, well, I'm getting pretty close to level 10 on my second Sauce, and if I can get my second Protector level 10, then we're off on a good foot to at least leave Tau. So let me know how things are looking on the YouTube end, if nothing else. Alright, we'll see how this does here. It's not quite true 60 frames, I apologize for that. There'll still be a little bit of tweaking I may have to do, and again, it could just simply be optimization, because for some reason, I feel like Battlefleet Gothic shouldn't be very demanding as far as like processor and video card load, but either way, this will be my first attempt at really trying to get the 60 frames going. And we're fighting Space Marines, so 700 points. I always try and take this a little more seriously to hit there. Let's get the Bastion, the triple Protectors. We're gonna go all out this time, and this time I won't let the Bastion roam off on its own. Aw, well, this won't be a very exciting battle then, I suppose, so that's a shame. Well, that's a bit of a disappointment, but hey, if nothing else, the improved video card is certainly showing here on the preview screen, because if you've been watching my videos beforehand, you notice how it likes to get choppy in that introduction screen. So, if nothing else, it's an improvement in that regard. Let's see, 4 ships. I don't know what exactly that means, and my ships are getting identified as well, which is insult to injury at this point. But this is going to be a very simple fleet, needless to say. Just keep them grouped together, burst the hell out of the Space Marines when he gets in close. So we'll play it by ear though. I'm not exactly sure what to expect, but we should be good. The only big criticism I have to say is every time I switch out my units there, we get a frame drop or whatever reason. Oh boy, glory of the Omni sign. We'll see how this goes. But we'll charge up our cutting beam. He has 4 ships, so I'm really hoping he's not cutting out on some ships there, because it seems like with 4 ships he should be perfectly fine. 4 strike cruisers, we'll see. It could be a ruse, but let's be prepared. Who knows what's going to happen in this regard. But I got the bombers, I got the fighters. I can at least take on any serious effort he may have here. I just gotta make sure I'm not so far away that my Bastion is not going to be able to contribute. I could take my time though. That's the hope anyway. I could be proven wrong with, let's see, if either he has this fleet in the V formation already, or there's a battle barge right there. If I had to guess, it remains to be seen. Also, let me get my damn Bastion in a proper group. It'll be charged up shortly. Get my Protectors in a good formation. And I need to be ready to pull back and disengage, or at least fly towards the Bastion so that way it can contribute. That's really all I have to say in that regard there. I am not oblivious to the fact heavy lances are going to be a bit of a pain, but at the same time, I'm better equipped for a heavy lance type of strategy because I have multiple repair drones, never mind the extra health. But with this beacon, we're going to have to try and avoid that. My Bastion is almost fully charged, so let's get on moving, I guess. Just wait for that final charge for good measure and just to be thorough. And these rings are a little bit irritating for trying to see what the dang... Okay, no hiding, huh? I'm not trying to hide, but I am going to get detected in a moment. Am I going to get detected? Okay, I didn't get detected. It's really hard to tell with the rings, mind you. But I have beacons. I have means to spot them. And so far, this looks like a serious fleet right now. It is a lower level fleet, so I feel bad for him there in that regard, but we have the firepower still. Now, do I launch bombers right away? Yeah, I probably do, because this is good. I should have waited until the secret missiles. I should have launched them with the secret missiles, to be honest, but this looks like a very serious fleet there. I don't know what he was saying about the damage result, but okay. But let's try and disengage, get these two to kind of go. And hopefully I could shoot down a good number of his Thunderhawks there quickly. And my Bastion will get there quickly. I would like the Bastion to shoot, but it's probably not a good idea in this regard. And I do have a repair drone still. Oh, damn it, did I forget to turn off autocast on secret missiles again? That's a bit of an annoyance. Alright. So get the Bastion in there. It's pretty much ready now, so just murder everything. That was a bad charge. That was a bad cutting beam, mind you, but it's still going to do its full charge. Now let's disengage. The strike cruiser's gone. I'm going to take this hit. I do have a brace for impact, mind you, so this should be as good as it could be, especially with the bombers, the Manta bombers kind of contributing. Alright, so go on in there. I do have a brace for impact. I have the Bastion here. It didn't do as much damage as I like, but he does have a brace for impact, to be fair. So take this hit. I do have repair drones. So keep making full good use of that repair drone, ideally. My damage is getting a bit spread out, with that all said, but I have a brace for impact. I can ram his cruisers and do some extra damage in this process. The question is what to prioritize, because this has the Lance variant, so... Okay, is there a way I can disengage? I can boost. That's really all I could do to disengage. So, get it going. Do damage necessary and get this protect... Well, this protector doesn't look like it's going to get out very easily, so... I think one protector is going to die. But we're doing good on this regard, because he's going to lose that one poor strike cruiser in a moment. The bombers will not allow it. So, yeah, you talk about your ships being all damaged. Well, it doesn't really matter. You got a pretty fearsome fleet. Maybe not an optimized fleet, but it's a fearsome fleet nonetheless. So let's just finish off his battle barge if he doesn't want to warp it out. He may have tried to warp it out and I may have accidentally canceled it, but I'll keep an eye on it. If he's going to warp it out or not. I didn't do the best use with my messenger, mind you, so that's a little bit of a shame, because that could have helped a little bit with some of those Thunderhawks, because he was launching them on me there, and I wasn't really paying attention to see how much damage it actually was doing as well. But let's get the cutting beam going. The torpedo sadly did not hit as much as I would like, but the battle barge is gone. And I'll let him warp out the Vanguard, I suppose. And a couple of critical hits for good measure, so... Despite his fleet getting damaged... It seems like a serious fleet with that all said. It just probably, again, wasn't a optimized fleet if I had to guess. And I wasn't seeing the battle barge warping out, so I don't know what his strategy was there ultimately. But we'll see. I want to hope this is an improvement. We'll see. I'm getting storage warnings on my recorder, so hopefully everything's okay. Maybe I'll have to change the codecs that I'm using for my for capturing all this. There are a lot of tweaks I'm going to need to do, and of course the level 9 is the one that had to get destroyed. The one that was so close to level 10. I would have preferred that to live if nothing else. But oh well. All in all I really care about is maybe the recording to have gone well. Fingers crossed that at least functioned as it should have, but we'll see if we get in our rematch with him there, see if we get our real fleet that he was kind of teasing about, or if it was a ruse all along. Alright, cruiser clash against Eldar. Mind you, it's 400 points, but I'm interested to see how to best use, or what am I trying to say, how to best fight against Eldar. Because the crew Warsphere, I am a little bit tempted to use this, but at the same time, I feel like it'd be more practical if I had the 12,000 unit range on it instead of the 9,000 unit range, because this is going to be vulnerable to bombers, it's going to be vulnerable to torpedoes. And even my Sausays are going to be very vulnerable, so It depends what he's really feeling, honestly. 400 points suggests Admiral level 3, so he's not going to have a battle cruiser just yet, so I have that going for me. This thing can handle shadows decently well, I want to say. I'm just going to have a protector or two nearby with some fighter support. And the points kind of allow for me to take a Sauce as well, or I could go with 2 Sauces and then a Messenger. Would a Messenger be better in that regard? Really questionable because I'm not going to have a repair drone, and I feel like that might be useful if I could survive the burst damage. Never mind the extra health that I'm going to get on the Protector itself. So I think the Protector is going to try and soak a lot of this damage. The Crew Warsphere is really, well, I'm really uncertain about this. But once it gets in the ideal position, maybe it could commit to a fight, or at least make it really awkward for him. But for the first few minutes, it's not going to do a whole lot, needless to say. I'm going to be on a heavy back foot there, but at least I have the 9,000 unit range, so it's not like he's going to have the easy time like using pulsars with the Auroras, you want to think. Especially since I think the tracking potential of these missile pods are actually useful for me. I want to argue, considering Eldar rely, or at least can dodge macro weaponry with its Wraithbone shift and the Falls maneuvers, so I feel like there's real practicality to the Warsphere in that alone. It's just really tricky to get in the position I want it to. So we're going to have to work on that some. The Sauce without a doubt is going to hang back because it got the extended range, especially if I can get the lock on. But as far as this being a practical fleet, I seriously question it. I feel like I would need the extra range, what is it, the target acquisition systems to get the 12,000 range on my macro cannons, or at least the missile pads. At least that way, he can't just fly out of range of my missiles, considering how slow they are. Because I feel like he could possibly do that. And Kion, is Kion useful? Probably not. Because he's, again, needs 6,000 range, so gonna be hard to say how this plays out. It's not, with him having the extra points, it's not truly an Eldar match that I can at least take pointers on, check notes on. What am I trying to say? I'm not sure anymore. Since it's at a lower level, he may be having a hard time with playing with Eldar. It may not be as dangerous as I think, but he does have at least 2 Thunderhawk waves. No, not Thunderhawks. Darkwing. They're Darkwing squadrons, that's what they are. I really am thrown off today there, but if nothing else, this is like just growing pains, I suppose. We'll see how the recording does there. Although right now we're not truly at 60 frames, so maybe I should stick back at the 30, at least for the more consistent type of frame rate. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm interested to see the result, if nothing else. And I could use this, yeah, I could use these asteroid belts to kind of force them into this pathway here. I like that idea. I have 2 beacons also. I just don't have extended sensors, but chances are he may not have extended sensors either, so let's force him into this asteroid belt. And also, let's see. Let me try and reveal his cruisers.
Drones have identified an enemy target. At your orders, Colonel.
So he has Auroras. Let's try unload here.
Ready for orders.
This might not go well for him because apparently he's just taking these hits right now. Okay, just dodge. Can I dodge some of his pulsar shots? I at least dodged the hits, mind you, but I don't think it did a whole lot just yet. We'll see how it goes. And also, it might be good to prioritize his weaponry, because he only got like 3 weapons on these Auroras. Solaris may be a different story. And I do have secret missiles. Oh yeah, and he has 2 frigates, so I can dodge those 2. And he's flying to an asteroid belt. Those Hellborn are already dead. I don't even need to take a shot at them. A little annoying, but I do have repair drones, remember. So 1 frigate's gone. This would be... what is it? Extended sensors would be really useful here, without a doubt. But we got him identified. He would have to use a solid run if he wants to commit to not being spotted. So good damage there, if nothing else. And I dodged all those torpedoes, which was his main form of burst damage. So we're looking good here. The Crew Warsphere is going to continue moving forward. And I have this asteroid belt to serve as an amazing deterrent, so this angle is really bad for him. And I do have a repair drone to kind of get my health back up. So far the first exchange is in my favor. The Warsphere is going to be a little bit odd to try and maneuver with that said. But he did lose a frigate. He is waiting for his torpedoes. I'm just waiting for him to inevitably maybe fly the asteroid belt again. Because one of his pulsars are gone. We got target prioritization all set. What do I want to focus on? Probably the Solaris, at least for the Warsphere. And we'll set the Auroras to 2 and 3. Oh, and he also lost his generator. That's kind of stinks. So, do I have a lock on? I have a lock on. So just fire and do damage. Yeah, this is not going to go pretty for him there if he's not going to commit to his engagement. Also, get my fighters out, shoot down his bombers. Thank you. They're not quite trained bombers, so I am kind of getting away with this Oh, I am going to take torpedo hits. Maybe one. Oh, did you see that? That poor Hellborn. That was not pretty, needless to say. And I did take a notable amount of damage, but now I could chase him down. He's going to have to resort to warping out, though, if he wants to escape. I'm watching for the warp out, though. Okay, he's warping out. I'll let him go. I'll let it go, but those secret missiles might not let him. Well, that was brutal. And again, it's like I said, I don't know how much I could take from this for an Eldar-Mir match, or an Eldar match. I don't know where Mir match came in, mind you. But it was still interesting to see, I suppose. Although he would have to get a lot closer with torpedoes, and please warp out in time. No! Oh boy. He managed to make it out there. He managed to make it out just barely. That was brutal, though, without a doubt. The asteroid belt worked amazingly well for me, so he's kind of had to go in a single direction, so he couldn't hit me from multiple angles. Well, the value in that probably doesn't really matter for Tau, because attacking from the flank would be good if I was like, say, Chaos, maybe Imperial Navy or Space Marines, because of how much longer my ships are, but for Tau, it's probably not as big of a deal, mind you. So, we got our level 6 on the Warsphere. I'm happy about that, if nothing else. So, that's a positive. Now, what are we going to put on there? Well, I already talked about it, so let's put the acquisition systems on here, and I will get rid of recondition the crew. So, marker drones and better repairs, I suppose, on the Earth Cache Engineers. So we're looking good. Everything's all rounded out. Now it's just a question, can I get this protector to level 10 like I want? Well, the last thing I want to do is to keep finding lower and lower point values, so I guess we'll just keep this simple. It'll make for a good opportunity to get my level 8 on the Sauce, assuming it can survive this bout. I am going to be a bit of an underdog, but I have the mobility and speed at least to engage at a distance. If nothing else, I just lack, ion cannon range, so we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes. I'm pretty vulnerable without adaptive deflectors, but at the same time, if I'm good at dodging the macro cannons at range, and of course the hits that I do take are on the prow as opposed to the side, then I should be in good shape. And if he has frigates, then in theory these Sauces should be really damn effective against those. I have a lot of macro cannon fire, and if I can somehow get away with a lock-on, I could do a world of hurt to him there. And the Messenger will at least help deal with any... Well, this is 250 points. I know for a fact he does not have a carrier ship, so there are no bombers to worry about. There are only torpedoes which I can dodge, outside of like close range proximity that I may have to eventually deal with. So, we'll play this by ear, because after all, we are doing a little bit of an uphill battle here, and most of my upgrades are just in longer range potential. Although I can get some really good brace for impact potential with the enhanced cogitator linkage, so I can still soak a lot of damage. I'm just not going to have my repair drones to make this easy for me. And we know exactly what he's fielding. 3 Dauntlesses there. Unless he's cutting out on the points for whatever reason. We shall see. Now we just got to pay close attention. If I do not see torpedoes, we're going to have to assume he has lances. That can be a bit of a problem for me. I'm going to have to make sure I'm good about my positioning there, because Lock-On is not going to do a whole lot with his 75 armor prow. And I do have extended sensors, and I don't need this messenger anymore for like point defense purposes, so if it can at least spot for me, that's a plus. Oh, I'm hearing torpedoes, so that's the best news I heard all day, in all honesty. I kind of want those torpedoes because I dread the lances that much more, especially with the lower health pool of my sauces and no real means to kind of like withstand or weather that storm that much better. Because I don't have repair drones. That's kind of like my main, my main weapon to deal with heavy lance fire there. Because otherwise he could just beat me in a war of attrition if I can't get that 50 armor. So, let's see. We can actually turn around and dodge that easily enough, so that's not going to be a bit of a problem. So let's just zigzag then. Let's keep them dancing, let's keep them dodging. And I do have 2 beacons to kind of force an early engage. Maybe force an overreaction. So, torpedoes. We only seen 2 torpedoes. Let's keep that in mind there. So he could still very well have a lance ship. Which means that should be my priority. It should be the one I focus on there. I kind of want my messenger to go in front still. To kind of save on using beacons, but at the same time he's about to get in fire range, so...
Drones have identified an
Which one is the Dauntless? So... This is the one with the... No, that has torpedoes. Which one's the Lance? Oh, the one on the right there.
Disengaging pure tide command link.
So, let's get ready to focus on that then, shall we? See what his overreaction is. Ooh, that was brutal. We destroyed his prow and engines immediately. Holy crap. What is the critical hit chance on these damn things? It's only 2% chance, mind you, so I got real lucky there. It never feels good to win by luck, mind you, but we'll see. Let's see, get going, dodge. Let's see. We're gonna dodge these missiles easily enough. And now let's just avoid getting this thing killed, especially by its own secret missiles, ideally. Because the one Dauntless has already took a beating, so I don't have to worry about its lance. It's just the macro cannons that could be a problem.
Weapons hot.
So get going. Try and force a disengage of some kind. Holy crap. This lock-on is doing amazing value for me. Although, he's going to need to use his prow a little bit more if he wants to do the damage he needs to. Because with the 50 armor, I'm just having a field day right now. Because what? That only has 1 turret and 1 macro battery. Oh, never mind, let's not get too cocky. These turrets can still do some notable damage. Especially with me not using my prow on them. Or facing my prow to them. We'll see. And this is the one that's not even braced for impact, so I should probably take it a little more seriously, shouldn't I? So dodge that. We got the boring in, so that's good in that regard. Now get on going, because this one ship could take a bit of a beating. I might still lose to attrition if I'm not careful. So we need to kill something with that all said and done. Something needs to die, and it's not dying really quick. Alright, so secret missile there was a bit of a whiff. I need the brace. I do need my brace for impact to actually mitigate this fire really well. Oh, we'll let that warp out. We'll let it warp out there. And try and avoid this other one as best of my ability. Without ramming it ideally, please. I would like to avoid that. My boosters are out. This thing, well, I was going to say, should disengage. It lost its engines, though, so that's going to be a bit of a problem. Oh, I did. I told him the whole fire, too, didn't I? There we go. Let's fix that problem. Let's fix that problem right now. I'm trying to be too generous here. The Sase may still die. And he has torpedoes, too, so I need to use my messenger for that effect. To kind of help in that regard. So get your boosters charged up. You have secret missiles to help fire. So long as I don't hit myself with secret missiles, that's the huge risk with not firing the missiles directly at him. Oh, the messenger took the hits there. It was a brave little messenger. It did what it could. Now, boosters are back online, so maybe this thing... Well, I might as well warp it out, I suppose. Although it's not going to live very quickly with these macro cannons, so... This is still anyone's game. Let's fire some real secret missiles on them. There's a good solid hit right now. Finish this thing off and we should be okay, because he's losing 2 weaponry. Alright. I guess this is it then. He needs to warp out the other ship. Or not. If you don't want to do that, then I'll just lock on and give you a hard time then. Let's teach him the error of his ways then, as it were. Although those secret missiles could have been angled a little bit better. Temporary damage. I did lose my prow. That's a big deal here. I didn't really lose any of my weapons, aside for the secret missiles, so... Finish this thing off. If he's not going to warp it out. Although I'm going to hit myself, aren't I? Now, are you going to warp it out for real this time is the big question. Do or do not, it is going to die either way if you don't. That I can promise you. And now what I need to do is get on his broadside. Boring is going to be a pain, but it is only destroying single weapons at a time, unlike the macro weaponry of the Imperial Navy if I were to destroy them. But we're getting good hits in there. I may not have the armor, but I got the firepower for the situation. So all we have to do now is just wait for him to eventually warp this thing out, I suppose. Ow, there goes my deck. Not that I need a lock on anymore, but still, that's felt. That is definitely felt, but... Come on, a little more hits, couple more hits is all we need, especially if I'm not taking control on this ship anymore. Well, that wasn't very exciting there. Well, at least at the very end, if nothing else, but good God, those critical hits. That lance could have been a nightmare for me if he was utilizing it. If he had means to, that is. But that thing by no means was... That Dauntless was still contributing without a doubt. It still has macro batteries and turrets shoot at me, even though it was at max range. It still was whittling me down. So somehow I won that. It felt like I shouldn't because most of my upgrades are in my range potential. And I wasn't getting the most out of my air cache favor aside for being able to easily reposition, mind you. But let's see if we could get one more real match going. Without the lower point values, here's hoping, we shall see. It's still a tense match, I won't kid you that. 3 Dauntlesses are still no joke, but if he had all lances, I'm just dead, no questions asked, I think. Alright, I remember the name, but I just can't place it off the top of my head, so... This is a convoy attack though, so I should I go with the Bastion for this one here? It's going to be a little bit odd, because it's going to be wanting to charge up its beam at the same time. I'm trying to kill a convoy. And it's 600 points too, so I don't quite got that luxury, do I now? Sweet Protectors are still pretty damn good for this. I got the repair drones to weather direct engagements. I have the bombers, so... Let's get the Castellan, Messenger for Thunderhawks, and we're looking golden. And I have the mobility to hunt down his convoy really damn well too, if he wants to try and pull a fast one on me there. So we'll see what happens. This should go well in my favor, just because of the mobility I have access to. But he could still field double battle barge if he's Admiral level 8. That I'm not quite certain of just yet. But we're gonna see. My recording isn't quite consistent there. It is dropping down below 60, so I may have to change my codecs, alas. But if nothing else, I'll be happy if it's an improvement. It just may not be very consistent. So growing pains. A little bit of growing pains there. I'm hoping to improve that. If nothing else, in preparation for Armada 2. That's the dream anyway. We'll see if we can get it done. But let me know in the comments if it is an improvement ultimately in some form, because I can easily just stick with at least 30 frames just to keep it more consistent at least. But I'm pretty certain my codecs is the main culprit here. It may be overwhelming my hard drive since I am using, what is it? I'm trying to remember what the codex is off the top of my head. It just doesn't do a lot of compiling, so it's less demand on my CPU before, but I may not need it at this point, so I may need to change that out. But nonetheless, let's see what we have. He is split up everywhere. So he's got 2, 2, and 2 if I had to guess, maybe. So we're going to use the Castellan to kind of spot for us. We're going to go straight in through the middle and murder the first squad then.
Honor the teachings
And then
of
we
your
can
life.
easily intercept the squad on the right. And I do have a messenger to hopefully deal with that on top of the fighters, so I should be in good shape, right? I just gotta be
We
diligent.
serve the Kovatra.
I just gotta be diligent about engaging that convoy quickly. I could kill single cruisers really fast though. This is pretty much gonna be no joke if he is gonna commit to a single cruiser.
As the ethereals
I just gotta
wish.
start making my way over to the right still to kind of engage the other squad before he, because he is eventually gonna boost on out. We'll see.
Alva shall prosper.
So strike cruiser number 1
Targeting sensors. Lock on.
is a level 9, but
Tide engrams online.
it wasn't really the best idea
May I
to
serve the tower.
have them all go up at the same time, or at least spread out.
Aircraft ready for orders.
So get this
For
going.
Alva, it will be
Get the
so.
Castellan to kind of like backdoor the
Disengaging
frigates on the right. That'll make my life a lot easier.
At your orders, Corps.
So you're gonna have to hold fire there.
Drive engage.
That protector can get out.
Patient hunt gets the-
Come on, you could get out. You're almost there.
As the ethereals wish.
There, now let's do some damage. Although, I don't know if he has a chapter master or not. Let's keep that in mind. And he has boring torpedoes coming too, so keep that in mind. I'm definitely gonna need
Morale ready.
some extra. What is it?
Drones have identified an enemy
Well, the
target.
messenger, without a doubt, I'm gonna need there, as well as the fighters to help in this regard. But if the Castellan can at least force his attention, that goes great for me there.
Disengaging pure
That's
tide
really the
command.
ultimate intention, is to just split his attention,
Aircraft ready for
so that
orders.
way I can focus on strictly these conveyors.
Corel, ready.
And with 25 armor on the side, I think it's 25 armor, right? Yep. Those secret missiles are going to do a lot of damage to him. It's just, again, gotta be mindful of his boring torpedoes causing problems.
Greater good.
Come on, you know you want to come after me.
Pure Tide command link.
So
At your
let's
orders,
board the hell out of that strike cruiser. This will make my job easy right now.
Alva shall prosper.
At your orders.
And let's
Corps.
not pick our fights too much here, because,
Maneuvering thrusters engaged.
come on,
Patient
this is not going very well,
against
but
the
I can hunt
prey.
down his ships really quickly.
Pure Tide engrams online.
Alright.
Calculating new vector.
I have beacons, so that's an easy solution.
Honor the teachings of Viola.
Now, can I kill this with this Castellan? That's the hope. I didn't fire my secret missiles very well though, so that's a bit of a problem.
Disengaging Pure Tide command link.
Now, we got secret missiles about to come up. Fire secret missiles at the one he's probably ignoring there. And if possible, I would like this Castellan to kill something, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen just yet.
Strike the killing blow.
Alright,
Ethereals
secret
target.
missiles do your damage. Okay, he burnt both his brace for impacts, that's fine. I got lock-ons, I can outrun them. I gotta again be mindful of the boring torpedoes, so
For Alva,
disengage.
it will be so.
and cause a little bit of
Alva shall
mayhem.
serve the tower.
Alright, secret missiles, get
Tide
going.
engrams online. How may I serve you?
So, let's see, one is left is to
As
kill,
the
is what we need to do
Ethereals
here.
wish.
So, secret missiles, do your thing.
Pure tide engrams online. Honor
That
the teachings
is
of
that
God.
dead? I don't know, it's hard to really say. But I know he should have one still in the gas cloud. Nope, they're all dead. He just tried to run him past me there, which could have happened if I didn't have the air cache favor, let's be fair. Because I tried to fight off against his strike cruiser, dive in aggressively as it were. But it paid off. I just kind of wish the Castellan could have done a little bit more. It seems like it did absolutely no damage to the shields. I'm pretty certain it was firing consistently right. I know it was dancing around kind of like in a silly manner attempting to ram it, but you figured it would have done a little bit more damage. Well, I would have to try and work on that though. I feel like the Castellan should have at least a decent enough time trying to kill one of those conveyors easily enough, even with a strike cruiser chasing after it, so we do on the plus side get a second level 10 protector, and the third one's getting close to level 9, so if nothing else, I'll be off in a good place there once I'm finished with Tau. I just need to find an opportunity to level up my Custodian a little bit more, if nothing else. Because I'm kind of avoiding using that ship, aren't I? to an extent, so at least I have more extended sensors. That's going to play a pivotal role for what just happened there, keeping vision of those conveyors when they try and run away. So at the end of the day, I'm at least getting rid of my one main weakness, I feel like, which is relying on my beacons too much for longer range engagements.